Ultiworld's coverage of the 2025 USA Ultimate National Championships is presented by Breakmark, celebrating their 20th anniversary. Visit them at breakmark.com. The 2025 USA Ultimate National Championships are presented by Discraft, home of the Ultrastar, the official disc of USA Ultimate. Your place for all your ultimate and disc golf needs. Visit discraft.com. We make flying discs fun.
Good afternoon once again, everybody, and welcome to San Diego. It's Championship Sunday at Club Nationals 2025. We just saw San Francisco Fury shocked in the women's final. San Francisco Revolver will try to finish the job in the men's division, complete the Triple Crown, and get back on top and win their sixth title against the Chicago Machine team that is looking for its first championship. Two thrilling, exhilarating semifinals yesterday. Revolver dethroning Rhino by 2, Machine taking down Pony by 1, and what an afternoon we've got in store. Hi everybody, Evan Lepler along with Keith Rayner. So great to have you with us. You got Revolver going for its 6th national title, trying to tie Boston and New York for the most ever. You have Machine going for their first title, and if they get it, they'd be the 9th different champion in the men's division in the last 9 years.
And maybe there's some upset magic in the air. This was supposed to be a day for the favorites, 3 #1 seeds, all pursuing the Triple Crown. Everybody felt like they had all the momentum. Well, things have already gotten off to a shocking start. We'll see if there's another potential upset. We had this clash yesterday between the reigning champs, Rhino, and this young Revolver team that's had such a successful season. And it was a clean, brisk game, well played. A lot of big plays from both sides, but Revolver able to summit.
Well, Riddaller with some huge blocks throughout the tournament, including that one there to set up the game-winning score. Dylan Whited with some words for Matt Rader as the final score came to fruition, 15-13, Revolver over Rhino. And then this was a wild, weird, and unfortunate game. Harper Garvey threw a turnover in the first point, gets hurt in the second point. Things shifted though in the second half, some uncharacteristic Pony mistakes. Machine was ready to capitalize, and they've got a really special player in Don Desmarais that they've been leaning on all tournament long. Rutledge Smith scores the game winner. 2016, Boston Ironside won the title to begin this string of Revolver, Pony, Sockeye, Ring, Bravo, Truck, Rhino. Another thing, if Machine wins today, Keith, it'd be the 3rd time in 4 years that the men's champ would come from the pre-quarters and make it all the way and win it, just like Truck did 2 years ago and Bravo did 3 years ago. Let's talk about this 24-year-old from Leuven, Belgium, Don Desmarais. He has had a national so far that really defies description.
Yeah, when the conversations around your turnover stats are an argument about if you had one yet, you know you're doing something special. We are seeing him in his 2nd season with the team. You know, he missed the end of their season last year, but he has been unstoppable here at this tournament, doing a little bit of everything, playing a ton of points. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's shouldered a heavy load for this Machine team, but done so with grace, with talent, with grit and toughness. I mean, he has already assumed a position as the unquestioned on-field leader of this team's attack.
He was the European Player of the Year in Ultiworld. He's got a great chance to be the USA Ultimate Club Player of the Year if Machine can reign today. But San Francisco has plenty of talented pieces too, perhaps no one more important than that guy. Mac Hecht, a college champion at Brown, trying to rise to the top of the men's division with Revolver.
Revolver's offense is something of a system group. They have a lot of guys who can do a lot of different things well, and they play within themselves. The exception is Mac Hecht. He is the system. He's a creative thrower. He's gotten more and more dynamic without the disc in his hands. He's the piece that allows everything else to work because he brings such a unique and impressive throwing skill set to the field. He's risen to the ranks as a preeminent handler. I think he's going to be in the discussion for the Offensive Player of the Year awards. He's had a tremendous campaign. He'd love to cap it off with another trophy in his burgeoning trophy case.
It's Revolver's first time in the championship game since 2018 when they were the reigning champions. Of course, they won it in 17 down in Florida. You see Michael Ing talking to the Revolver huddle. He got the better of his brother's team yesterday. Henry was spectacular as well, but Michael and his club moving on. It's Pavel Yanis, a college champ at Colorado 11 years ago. I mean, the number of accolades, championships, gold medals across these rosters is astonishing. But today, they only care about one result. There's Johnny Bansfield, of course. He's had many memories at Nationals. Some good, some not as good. Can today be that day for Chicago Machine? And look, we say 9 different champions in 9 years. That is mind-boggling stuff.
It goes to show how hard it is to win a club championship in this division. Don Desmarais talked about it after the semifinal. He's here because this is the hardest thing to win, basically, in the world. He wants to be a part of that. He wants to achieve that. And we have seen that challenge borne out year after year. It takes more than just having a talented roster. You have to bring it all together and deliver in clutch moments. You have to survive the pressure. You have to stay healthy. You got to stay even keel when the ups and downs come your way. And for these two teams, they just have to do it for one more game. They've already faced off once at this tournament. Of course, they were both in Pool A. Battled to see who would win the pool. We're underway here in their next matchup.
Not sure any men's final has begun quite like this, with a roller pull forcing Revolver to start across midfield on the sideline. Hecht picked up by Steslicki, and he blades a forehand downfield for Nate Pryor. Reset for Adam Reese. William Wettengel, standout defender for Machine. Thought he got seriously hurt in the quarters, but he was huge in the semis. Simon Higgins, one of the small handful of remaining members from Revolver's last title team, has the opening score in the final.
And already we've got Mac Hecht unleashing the hammer, one of his favorite tools for finding the end zone. Keeps the defense honest. And a very effective semifinal for Hecht. 2 goals and 4 assists for Mac. He's already got one to start this one too.
Couple crafty throws in this opening possession for Mac Hecht. Third member of our broadcast team with perspective on the sideline is Ian Toner. Hey, Ian.
Hey, Evan. Hey, Keith. Hey, everybody. So thrilled to be here on Championship Sunday. Tried to get some information from the Machine side before this game, and James Highsmith said to me, hey, man, we got some pretty serious team superstition. I can't talk to you before the game, even if it's an off-camera interview. But what I will say is noticing that opening point right there, the roller pull, it's reminiscent of what the Japanese men's national team did at the World Ultimate Championships back in London in 2016. That group was trying to take down the Americans, take down their big game full field advantage. Wouldn't surprise me if the thought behind that strategy was limit the amount of room for Revolver to run a dominator.
Desmarais' first touch, and he launches deep, and 3 different targets were nearby, but Rutledge Smith wins the race.
And definitely not the start the Revolver D-line wanted, as 3 different defenders get beat deep, and they immediately ensue on discussion about who was supposed to be where, because that was definitely not the game plan.
Coach Rayner, how do you feel about 3 cutters attacking the deep space at the same time?
If they're all going to beat their defenders, then I feel a lot better about it. And Rutledge Smith ends up collecting the goal, but it could have been any of 3, and that's just too easy. Another assist for Don DeMarais. His outrageous stat line, and you know, if they could all be this simple, it's no wonder he has no turnovers. And a pair of new additions there in the deep space open for him with Rutledge Smith and Sam McGuckin.
There's Walden Nelson, long-time great handler defender. Now one of the coaches of the Chicago squad.
Oh, Evan, we've opened with a Mac Heck assist and another stat for Don DeMarais. Last time these 2 teams played in pool play, DeMarais with 2 goals, 5 assists, Mac Heck with 6 assists. So trend still holding that these 2 are the centerpieces for production.
DeMarais was on the field the first 2 points. He is on the sideline right now, though. Heck picked up by Steslicki again. Middle of the field for Eli Kearns. Here's Adam Reese. Big gainer downfield, Raekwon Atkins. Mac Hecht has his 2nd assist. Both of them to Simon Higgins.
Hecht, Higgins, hammer. That's what you're getting out here. A little Triple H. And Malcolm talking with the opposition a little bit. Jake Steslicki and Hecht have been matching up all season. They were put against each other in pool play. They were put against each other in the Pro Champs final. When Revolver took down Machine as one of the legs of their Triple Crown, with Machine missing some key personnel like Johnny Bansfield and Don DeMarais. But Steslicki's very familiar. That is the guy that they like to try and disrupt Hecht's game. It's not working so far.
And if any of the offensive players had nerves at the start, we're not seeing them. Kyle Liu has played in a bunch of big games at the college level with Cal Poly SLO. Revolver made it back to the semis last year here in San Diego for the first time in what was then 6 years. Their run of semis ended in 2019 at the hands of Machine. This Machine team actually beat Revolver twice in bracket play since Revolver's last won a title. Paul Arders, another talented handler that Chicago leans upon greatly. Nate Goff swings it for DeMarais, picked up by Michael Ing. Sofiane Bontemps launching deep. Rutledge Smith chased by Sean Liston. It's incomplete, and it's the game's first turnover.
Smith frustrated with himself for not making the play there, but Bontemps not helping him out, hanging that disc up in the air. Talked yesterday during the semifinals about the low side and high side. The wind is still blowing across to that far sideline. That's going to impact how this deep game plays out for both sides.
Ing picked up by McGuckin, he launches. Kyle Rutledge there defensively, and it's through the hands of Jason Valley, but he calls a foul. These guys, Valley and Rutledge, former teammates, and now Valley's waving off the call. He's rescinding it and giving it back to Machine.
Valley, much respect for retracting the call. I tell players all the time, there's nothing wrong with retracting a call if you decide against it. Valley with great position, but couldn't make the catch. You could see, watch for some similarities between the defensive sets both of these teams like to run.
Goff's gonna try another one. Bontemps going deep. DeMarais running with him. Bontemps rips it down. Desmarais is not the only Belgian name to know today.
And that play from Sofiane Bontemps is a lot tougher than it looks. The hardest discs to read are the ones that are right over your head. And that one came in right at a tough angle for Bontemps, but Goff able to keep it from staying up there in the same way it did when Bontemps released this one. See that hanger forcing Smith to have to go up one-on-one with the defender. Similar outcome for Michael Ingshuck the other way, but Goff able to get a little more of a flat edge on that. And so Bontemps able to go up while still maintaining his momentum forward rather than having to slow down as much to make this play. Great job lining up that catch. Secures it with 2 hands.
Damn time! Hey, a little careful there. That's the 20 seconds. You get a commander, and I can.
There's been a lot of comments made and hype delivered to Don Desmarais and Toba de Krana. Bontemps spent much of the spring injured, not able to compete at the highest level, but folks in Belgium know he is the real deal too.
I'm sure there'll be some curious folks about where he and Don Desmarais will be playing at the World Ultimate Club Championships, which Chicago Machine has secured a spot at.
Yeah, I think they're playing with Mooncatchers.
I think so too, but you know, we can always add a little spice to the pot. We can stir the drink here.
But Chicago has, what, 9 months to try to convince him to play with them? This is going to be Revolver walking it all the way up beyond the reverse brick.
Well, Ian talked about new ways to take them from having their Dominator set. This is a unique one.
Prior to Reese, and the third throw of the possession is the score to Walker Frankenberg.
There may not be a lot of offensive nerves, as you mentioned, Evan, but the defenses are not executing the game plan very well right now. And some of these are controllables. And you've seen it on both sides. I think it's sometimes a little harder to notice defensive nerves, but they can creep up. You see players second guessing their decisions. And just such a difficult spot to defend a team with such a crisp offense, starting middle of the field in the red zone already.
Walker Frankenberg, 25, he'll be 26 in November. Was a D3 national champ at Middlebury, 2019. Was a 2-time high school state champ in Seattle. And it's hard to win a state championship in Seattle because everybody seems to be pretty good. Well, Machine's going to have much longer road here than Revolver did that last possession. Arders to the middle of the field for Goff, picked up by Ing. Dexter Clyburn is chasing around Don Desmarais this point for Revolver.
And they've always really liked to put Ing on Goff.
McGuckin bumped on the way by Carter Langford. Langford, another super young guy. He's going to be a senior at Cal this spring. Going back to play college after playing in the club championship game. Speaking of college champions, Rutledge Smith to Bansfield to Arders. Byron Liu very active on the mark. Liu had a huge layout in Revolver's game against Sockeye that helped to turn the tide in the second half after Sockeye led at the break. Machine also had to come from behind against Sockeye in pool play. There's Keegan North finding Don Desmarais. First goal here in the finals for Don.
Strong possession for Machine, able to use the width of the field and gone basically on record saying I think that this Revolver offense is the best offense in moving the disc horizontally. But Machine's showing they're plenty capable of working the width of the field.
19 passes on that possession, most we've seen in a possession so far in the final.
And also worth noting, we talked a lot about Don Desmarais and what his presence has meant to this Chicago team this season, how much more successful they've been with him on the field. But don't sleep on number 5, Johnny Bansfield, coming over to the O-line here. He's playing both ways like Desmarais. He had 4 assists for them in their semifinal victory. And that duo right there, those are the X factors.
Really perfect ultimate conditions, a slight breeze. It's comfortable, but it's certainly not too hot. Pavlianis launching the pull. Hecht beginning this point downfield, Keith, in the horizontal Revolver stack. It's a dominator for Atkins, Pryor, and Gordon. Raekwon Atkins still in college as well at the University of Oregon.
And they can really pick their matchups here. Decide which 3 they want to go at because they're so comfortable with all of these guys running these sets.
William Wettengel continues to make unbelievably gigantic plays for Machine's defense.
3 blocks for Wettengel in yesterday's semi.
Leaping catch near the goal line. Jake Steslicki flips it into the end zone. The first break of the final belongs to Machine. And it's Adam Stoutberg with the score. But William Wettengel, you gotta learn the name. And I'm talking to myself because we've been calling him Wettengel, and that's not right. William Wettengel. He's gonna be a problem for offenses for a really long time. He's huge, he's fast, he's instinctive. He's excellent, and he's just 21.
That last part perhaps being the most notable because there's a lot of time for his game to develop. But he is getting some high pressure reps, and he has been playing very well despite that. I mean, very few players have been able to stop Adam Reese at this tournament, including some of the top defenders in the division. But Wettengel able to get there. He was assigned to guarding Adam Reese back at Pro Champs in their final, and frankly got taken to the cleaners. Adam Reese was having his way with William Wettengel, but round 2 or round 3 as it were, and the youngster seems to have picked up on a few cues.
How will Revolver respond after getting broken for the first time? Hecht hits White underneath, stumbles awkwardly, but pops right back up. Steslicki again drawing the Hecht matchup. Desmarais is out there defensively. This is the 5th point he's played out of the first 8.
Also crossed over Rutledge Smith.
Poach attempt in the middle. Smith comes up short.
Great communication by his teammates to cover up the hole that Smith left, and they switch their way through it effectively.
Hecht looking end zone. That's another perfect put for Mac Hecht. First goal of the final for Adam Reese.
He was also hyper-productive yesterday's semifinal. And the veteran cutter has been plying his trade for years, is a true hybrid and fits in very well with this Revolver group.
Keith, go ahead.
Very different type of start to this game from the last time you and I saw these two teams play.
I was going to take you to the same place.
San Francisco rattling off 3 breaks to feel like they'd taken control of the game, and you and I were, writing the eulogy for Machine, who looked pretty dead in the water in our defense.
They were down 11-7, and they rallied.
And listless, though. It wasn't even just the score. They looked like they weren't even there anymore.
They tied that game up at 12s on Thursday afternoon before Revolver ran off the final 3 goals to win 15-12. Revolver defeating Philly Pac-Man, the surprise quarterfinalist. Pac-Man knocked off the number 2 overall seed New England Dig. And Revolver taking down Rhino. Same 4 semifinalists as last year in the men's division, but the 2 finalists are new. Last year's finalists, both falling in the semis, and earlier this morning, Pony beat Rhino 15-9 in the 3rd place game to earn a coveted bid to the World Ultimate Club Championships in Ireland next summer. McGuckin can't come down with it.
Big Aussie cutter trying to haul that in. He's been one of the top goal scorers for Machine.
Second break chance for Revolver. They're 0 for 1.
They don't have a lot of momentum right now as they're halfway deep into their own end zone, coming out of a stop disc.
Keith, one more note about the 3rd place game this morning. Pony will have a chance to defend its World Clubs title from 2022 in Cincinnati. No automatic bid for the returning champion, though. They had to earn their way against last year's USA Ultimate Club champ.
Got to feel like a good revenge win for a Pony team that was dismantled in front of our eyes last season by Rhino.
That is what happened. 15-6, and it didn't feel that close. Semis yesterday were both nail biters. Revolver by 2, Machine by 1. Arders defending Quan, looking Valley, and it's Ridaller who makes the play and then shoots it deep. Seamus Robinson has it intercepted by Sofiane Bonton.
Bit of a wounded duck
Revolver
thrown up by Riddler.
0 for 2 on break chances now. Here's Desmarais. Working with Arders. Of course, Paul Arders, a member of the Mooncatchers when they went to the semis. That's Desmarais accelerating and making a tough catch look really easy, relatively.
And he handles it all so well. I mean, he gets up, and in a spot where other players might be worse for wear, he just says, all right, I'm ready for another one.
I think I'm saying one no matter what. What's that? I think I'm saying one no matter what. I think I was trying to come here and trying to avoid you. I got a shoulder in my hip to stop.
So
Yeah.
what? So you called foul?
He's calling foul.
And you're contesting?
I'm gonna contest.
Okay, so we have a foul contest. Are you just going to keep it a foul contest?
I'll come to you just for the sake of it.
We're just going to keep it a contest and send it back.
Before the foul.
Don Desmarais didn't start playing Frisbee until he was 14 years old. Unlike his countryman Toba DeCrone, he didn't grow up around the game. Toba had a lot of family members who played at a high level.
Still does.
Don found Ultimate at a summer camp he was at when he was 14.
Coming in saying 4. Foul contest saying 4.
One of his counselors happened to play Frisbee for Jet Set.
Did Don find Ultimate or did Ultimate find Don?
Either way, he's here. And he's got his second goal.
I'm feeling like the game might have gotten the better of that transaction. As Desmarais finds another spot in the end zone, another hold for Machine. Credit to their O-line's defense there. They put up a wall in front of Revolver, held them in their own end zone for most of that possession. And I think a little desperation creeping in for Revolver on that deep shot. Arter's able to flip that out to space for Desmarais.
Machine coming from behind against Sockeye. Falling short against Revolver. They were broken early by Sub-Zero too and rallied. Machine played great against Johnny Bravo though, took control of that game early.
Yeah, that's not the only game in which it looked a little dicey for them. They were very tight with Goat in their opener. They played close with Sockeye for a little while. They played close with Sub-Zero. This has not been a clinical performance, really at basically any point by Machine. There are many points in their journey to this point where things could have gone awry, but they've been able to wriggle free of every tough spot that they've put themselves in. And, the journey to the championship isn't always a smooth one. It's not linear.
Hecht unmarked, so he's got all the time he wants until Bansfield gets within 10 feet.
Yeah, is Bansfield starting his count over? He's leaving a lot of room.
Not sure he was overly concerned with the count. Gordon struggling to find an option. Finally, he gets a gainer to Atkins, who beats Wilson Matthews under, and now here comes Revolver with Frankenberg. Atkins, a couple good fakes. Back in the hands of Hecht. Higgins is not on the field right now, so it's not going to be Higgins receiving the hammer. Instead, it's Nathan Pryor. Tying the game at 5.
Nicely done by the Revolver offense. And we talked to Mark Anderson about the tempo that they talked about salsa tempo this season, which is their ability to play a little bit off rhythm, to be able to wait a beat here and there. They don't have to just move the ball on the same counts over and over again, and that's made their offense more resilient. But let's take a look at them attacking this Machine defense after Atkins gets it in to the red zone. And let's stop here. You can see Machine starting to form the line on the wall. They're going to have a couple defenders in the backspace covering up these over-the-top looks, but 3 defenders are going to take the front line. Keep it rolling, and you'll see Revolver cuts through that space, draws one of the defenders. Stop here, and you see that opens up the space. Defenders drawn out of the middle. Cutter enters that space. Easy attack up the gut. Revolver's going to try and do that over and over if they can get Machine into that red zone set. It's what they did at Pro Champs. It's what they did in the pool play. It's what I expect to see them do today.
Keith, what has stood out most to you through the years, and this year as well, about Chicago Machine's defense, and what makes them different than other teams in the men's division?
They're very experimental. They're really open to trying a lot of different things to see if they can throw teams off rhythm. They don't like to just do things the way everybody else does because that's what they've seen before. They do have some similarities with what they like to run and what Revolver likes to run this year. They do a lot of switching. I think they're one of the most aggressive switching teams in the division. And they were kind of at the forefront of that in some ways. And you'll see them employ that in a lot of different ways, whether it's in that red zone set or they run a similar set at the full length of the field with 3 cutters up front. There are 3 cutter defenders up front, and they'll pick up players as they come underneath. They'll run through a lot of switches. They care less about their individual matchups and more about a team-wide philosophy of defense.
Chicago was in the final 2 years ago, fell short against Truck Stop. They were in the final 6 years ago, and they were bettered by Sockeye by the smallest of margins. Arters, Kyle Rutledge, Nate Goff, Bontemps, Desmarais, Rutledge Smith, and Keegan North, and there's a block downfield for Toby Warren. The scoreboard says we're tied, but Machine is up a break. And the Callahan winner from this spring, Dexter Clyburn, got fouled. No contest from Bontemps. Valley into the end zone for Ridholler. Revolver's first break.
Beautiful placement on that throw from Clyburn, who is just such a calm player for a player at his age. And I think that's because he has been really the leader on his college team. He has been the guy that team has rallied around when he was playing at the University of California, Berkeley. And that has given him this just unflappable nature. Comes out of that stoppage and just steps right around the mark and sets it up. You know, that's one of those high-quality hockey assists where it was the throw before the throw that really made that score happen.
How about the Lev Kovalchuk style block from Toby Warren, just poaching into the lane and being there?
Maybe inspired by the German star, but Warren, another young college talent.
Nate Goff, the thrower, not seeing the full field, throwing into the poach. So we're on serve. Revolver started on offense. We began with 3 straight clean holds. The game began with 6 straight offensive holds overall before the machine break made it 4-3. We have still been tied at every number through 5. Can Machine even the score again?
Curious why Kyle Rutledge opted not to catch that flat floating pull.
He'll catch this one in a tight space up the line, and he's hit from behind, and he's not happy about it.
Yeah, not necessarily a dangerous foul, but frustrating because it's obviously going to take away his momentum advantage ahead of the 2 defenders.
Travel called.
Or he's frustrated because there was a travel call against him.
All right, we ready to restart here?
Let's go downstairs to Ian.
So Kyle's perspective is that he understood that momentum was taking those 2 defenders into his space and there was going to be contact, but he felt a pull on his throwing arm in a chance when he could have stepped through into power position like right here.
He still launches deep, and perhaps his momentum was thwarted, and he turns it over.
Well, they call it power position, but that's because you've got the momentum of stepping forward into your throw. You're able to push up the kinetic chain, and when you come from a standstill, it's a different type of throw.
Testing Desmarais. Michael Ing unable to reel it in.
There's probably not a matchup on earth that Revolver's not throwing deep to when they see Michael Ing with steps, but harkens back to a similar play yesterday. Bounces off of Ing's hands. He's in the right spot. He goes up strong, but just cannot secure the catch.
Opportunity to take a 2-goal lead for the first time. Goff zips it with a backhand for McGuckin. McGuckin played at the World Games this summer for Australia. This is Bansfield looking for Rutledge Smith, and there's a decent amount of contact there, but the throw went over Rutledge's head, and he does not call a foul. Second Machine turn to the point.
Rutledge Smith is showing some restraint. That's the second time he's taken contact and opted not to call a foul. In both situations, I think he made the right call.
Here's Kyle Liu. Big bid from McGuckin, but he comes up empty. Cross field, past Desmarais, and into the end zone. Back-to-back breaks for Revolver. It's a 3-0 run as Sean Liston punctuates the point.
It's a fastball from
McGuckin taking the gamble there. And opening up the space for Revolver to get aggressive with one of the defenders out of the way. And not sure if Desmarais maybe lost his footing. It didn't look like he was able to explode off the ground. Also, the throw really low, so maybe not able to burst in the way he would have liked. But on a possession with many errors, took a really close play to finish it off.
Another look. I mean, Smith knew he couldn't get it. The contact didn't prevent him from making the play.
And I think that's just a misjudgment on McGuckin's part. He went up late. I don't think he really had any shot at it. Would have taken probably an offensive mistake for him to get that block.
Keith, I've watched Kyle Liu play a bunch of games, mostly at the college level. I didn't realize he was this good watching him play for Cal Poly SLO, but watching him this year with Revolver, I've got a whole new appreciation for the way he can quarterback a D-line and create breaks for his team, not just with his throws, but with his defense, with his presence. He's a really valuable D-liner for the San Francisco squad.
He's really emerged this club season as somebody who can operate the offense for that defense. He's a strong defender too. I will say, to my credit, I think I was the only person who had him on the perimeter of my top 25 club players. But I'm very impressed with how he's performed this season, and is particularly adept at throwing around the mark, and being able to access that width of the field really keeps the defense from being able to clamp down in the middle, makes you a lot more dynamic after the turn.
Dan Donovan, along with James Highsmith and Walden Nelson, leading the Chicago squad. Machine had, to put it mildly, a disappointing US Open. They played much better at the Pro Championships, Labor Day weekend. And despite a 15-12 loss in pool play, they have fought their way through the bracket, trying to become the third men's team in the last 4 years to go from pre-quarters to champions.
Really smart cut from Keegan North right there, reacting to his teammates.
Might have been a contact call, perhaps refreshing the stall count in that sequence. North had it for a while. Meanwhile, Desmarais quickly finds his man, Sam McGuckin, in the end zone to snap Revolver's 3-0 spurt. First assist for Desmarais, making his second assist. To go along with a couple of goals.
Desmarais up to 20 goals, I believe, on the tournament. Tied for second, along with Jacob Fairfax behind Jeremy Langdon in the men's division. But not that far behind, not that far down the list is one Sam McGuckin. World Games representative for Australia. 15 goals for him. And the big man has, I think, really eased the workload on both Desmarais and Nate Goff by adding so much size and speed to this offensive cutting unit.
I'm glad we got a look at Walden Nelson there. Now, winning a championship is special for so many reasons to everybody on the team and everybody associated with the team, closely or tangentially. But like Walden Nelson's been the heart and soul of Chicago Machine for a long time.
Beloved figure.
He's a guy that you root for. Mac Heck sending Simon Higgins with a big backhand. It floats perfectly. Although Higgins still with a little work to do, and he'll get it done. Walker Frankenberg scores, and Revolver takes half in the men's final, 8-6.
Despite giving up the first break to Machine, Revolver rebounding. And their offense has been fluid, and Mac Hecht has been dealing.
Only 4 turnovers in the half for Revolver. Just 5 total turnovers for Machine. This disc floated absolutely brilliantly out of the hands of MacTech. He's got a way of manipulating that Ultra Star that is uncommon and special. And Revolver has the 2-goal lead at the half.
Ultiworld's coverage of the 2025 USA Ultimate National Championships is presented by Breakmark, celebrating their 20th anniversary. Visit them at breakmark.com. The 2025 USA Ultimate National Championships are presented by Discraft, home of the Ultra Star, the official disc of USA Ultimate. Your place for all your ultimate and disc golf needs. Visit discraft.com. We make flying discs fun.
Back here at the USA Ultimate Club Championships, Revolver leads 8-6 at the half, trying to win their 6th title. Ian Toner, take it away.
Thanks, Evan. Malika, I know you were a part of some team yoga exercises for the 2nd time this morning. How do you feel like the team is situated and standing and feeling here with an 8-6 lead at the half?
I think we're still in our Zen state from yoga this morning, but you know, the job's not done. When we played machine and pool play, we had a little bit of a lull in the 2nd half, so we've made sure to know that we need to stay dialed in the 2nd half, and I think we can see the defensive pressure is mounting. We're excited to come out with all we got in the 2nd half.
Were you surprised at all by some of Machine's defensive tactics, the roller pull? I know that's something that they've done against you guys previously, but it seems like this is a team that's always willing to experiment defensively.
You know, after all these years, nothing surprises me anymore, Ian. Ready for anything.
That's fair. What do you want the team to focus on for the 2nd half?
I think our offense continues to be really dialed in, mentally strong, finding the soft spots in their defense, and then our defensive line just keep getting hungry, looking for those like spots to poach and, you know, get the block and score it.
Thanks so much. Good luck in the 2nd.
Thanks, Ian.
Evan?
Malika Anderson has been involved with this Revolver program for a long time, dating back to their dynastic run a decade ago. And she took over as coach. They've added Adrian King. They're playing a really high level of Frisbee. As we mentioned, only 4 turns in that 1st half, Keith. 4 assists for Mac Hecht. Don Desmarais, 2 goals, 2 assists. Same stats for his countrymen, but a 2-goal deficit that Machine's trying to overcome. Let's go back to Ian.
Thanks, Evan. Here with Dan O'Connor, Machine coach. Dan, your first impressions there on that 1st half?
I think we came out hot with some good, different looks, some pressure. That was kind of the thought going into this. Whatever you have left in the tank, whatever we have left as a team, we're going to leave it all out there. We're going to throw it all out there.
Can I ask what the general philosophy is, thinking about trying to slow down Mac Hecht when he's got the ball in his hands?
Yeah, I mean, it's no secret. He's been on a heater this weekend. He's hitting his hucks. It's, you know, trying to take away his targets and trying to at least apply a little bit more pressure to those throws at this point. You know, there's only so much you can do to try and slow it down, and that's our philosophy at this point.
Was the roller pull part of the strategy? You know, hey, let's limit the length of the field for him to huck to. Let's limit the space he has to run dominators.
At this point, everything is part of the strategy.
Okay, that's fair. What is the team focusing on here with the 2nd half coming up?
The focus now and coming in was playing with joy, playing with love, right? Taking this advantage and this opportunity as our last chance as a team together and pouring it all in. Everything you have right here for each other and with each other.
Thanks so much, Dan. Good luck in the 2nd.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Evan?
Yeah, that's a vibe that we hear from a lot of Ultimate players and coaches on this day every year. The season's coming to an end, win or lose. Every year is a new journey, Keith, as you know, as you get ready to try to go back-to-back in your collegiate coaching career. But these are two teams that have been chasing this moment for a long time. Curious to get your thoughts of where we stand as we look at the first half highlights. Wettengel with really the one big block for Chicago's D-line.
A big part of the challenge in these environments when you get deep in the bracket at Nationals isn't just about the tactics. It's that you have to marry the tactics with the emotional management. I mean, this is a day that's filled with emotions that basically you can't replicate anywhere else. And your team rides a roller coaster in a way they've never done before. And you hope that what you've done during the season has prepared you for that, but you never really know because you can't test it until you get to this time. So the team both has tactical adjustments they're going to want to make on both sides, but also managing the emotional stability of your team through this matchup. It's a really challenging task, and both teams are going to find out if they're up to it here in the second half.
A year ago, coming into Nationals, Machine was the favorite. They were the #1 seed. Joe White was largely considered one of, if not the best player in the world. And then he got hurt and everything kind of shifted. Joe is not here with Chicago this weekend. Joe, if you're watching, certainly hope that you're healing and we can see you on the field again soon. It's hard to imagine Joe White on this Machine team. I mean, obviously he's an unbelievable player. He could fit in whatever role they wanted him to, but we haven't seen him all season long. Final half of the season for both Machine and Revolver. That pull is inbounds, and it's a beauty.
And another one not caught.
Kyle Rutledge, deep in Callahan country. Looking for an option.
And Revolver is in there, poaching set.
It's knocked down in the end zone, nearly a Callahan for Robinson. Lou picks up, sacrifices yardage to get it off the line. We were obstructed, couldn't tell exactly how close Revolver was to the Callahan. Riddler ruled not in. Reset for Lou. Looking downfield, Valley's his reset. He uses him.
Machine into their wall, help zone.
This would be San Francisco's third break if they could get it. And a bobble and a drop by Riddler.
Great job by the defense with the goal line stand, make him throw a lot of passes.
If Machine comes back, remember that goal line stand. Arders had Bontemps going deep. He holsters and swings it across. Kyle Rutledge. Reset for Arders. To McGuckin. And Smith. And that's dropped. A fastball in short range, and Bontemps could not bring it in.
That throw going up against the wind, so the option to throw the IO edge to make it soft and easier to catch, basically not there.
3 turnovers on the point. Ties the most we had in a point in the first half. And this time Revolver punches it in. Machine's will broken a little bit there. You could see it. They did not defend with the same intensity after the second turn, and it's a 9-6 lead for Revolver, their largest lead of the day.
It's that break throw off the line that sets up the success, sets up the break side motion there. Gets Revolver to the end zone for another break and puts them in a commanding position here in the final. There's the mismanaged pull.
It's a poach block by Seamus Robinson. Didn't get the Callahan, but certainly a big play. But then Riddoller, the first of a handful of just lack of security on the disc. Valley to Liston to punctuate the point. Let's go to Ian.
If you caught the women's broadcast, I hate to sound like a broken record, but there really is no comparison to the body language that Fury had after getting broken and the positivity and the support that they displayed, especially relative to what we saw from Machine after that point. Every team has a different culture and a different way of responding to adversity, but it was clear there were some heads down, there was some exhaustion, there was not immediate celebration, just very different approaches across divisions and across teams.
Giannis downfield, trying to quarterback this kind of hybrid Machine line. Difficult throw and another turn, but a foul called by Xavier Payne.
No surprise after the type of pressure that Revolver was applying that it came down to such a tight window.
So I think like the angle I'm taking for this. Yeah.
I think it's just like you hit my hand down when I was going for it. So I think we were both kind of going in a straight line. I do think that. I think I just didn't even have a play because your hand hit my arm down.
Yeah. I mean, I think I did a pretty good job of getting in front of you and like having my arm in the position first.
Do you not think you hit my arm down at all?
I think I did, but I don't think it affected the play because of that. Like.
Okay, we're gonna stand back or come here.
Oh, okay.
Observe ruling. It is a foul. Come in one.
Robin Vickers Batsdorf guilty of the foul. So it's Payne. Breaks the mark for Jack Shanahan. And Johnny Bansfield with a layout grab, and he's out of bounds. He's arguing he's in, but he's not going to win that conversation.
Couldn't keep the feet down, nearly given back right away by Dexter Clyburn.
Callahan opportunity there. Jeffrey Gow hunting. A little bit of a floater, and Goff rises up. Piers Dylan Villeneuve thought it was a foul.
I'm still reeling over the last foul conversation.
Let's see, was Bansfield in? No. His left hand, I believe, hit first on the line.
You're coming to me? Great. My ruling, no foul. So turnover was sent.
Well, I can now say with both blocks, I feel like whatever contact was there was not affecting the outcome of the play.
Pavel Giannis has the assist to Jack Shanahan to bring Machine back within 2.
Let's go!
Big point for the Orange. There's a couple of referrals on big possessions. Clyburn with a couple of mistakes, and the second one comes back to haunt him.
I mean, this play right here, there's certainly contact, but the throw was not on target. Now this play, is it possible his foot hit before his left hand? I don't think so, but I'm not certain.
Maybe, actually. I mean, I can't expect the human eye to see this any differently, so.
We don't see any rubber pellets pop up before his hand clearly hit.
I will say the Villeneuve foul, maybe I didn't see the hand on the shoulder. Maybe Villeneuve didn't get to make a full jump.
Roller pull from Machine. Picked up by Hecht right near midfield. Gordon connects with Reese. Feels like it's been a while since we've seen Revolver's O-line. This is their first point played here in the second half. Wettingell on the mark of Reese. And a foul.
It's worth noting, no Jake Staslicki out there. He had been the player charged with trying to suppress the offensive excellence of Mac Hecht, who, by my count, has 10 goals or 10 assists in his past 2 games so far against this Machine defense. So, switching the matchups now.
I didn't extend my arm in a way that.
But I feel like I was already in the spot, and then like it made me like.
Do you want to keep it here or come to me?
I don't know. Yeah, how good are you?
It was a foul. You did extend your arm.
I did.
Yeah, you did.
Well, there we go.
So, uphold foul on offense. Offensive foul.
Jonna Hammaker, who is with us in the booth for the women's final, on the field for the men's final, making the call. So Pryor taps it back in. Gordon, tight space, a collision between Reese and Gow. Replay on. It's a nice leading throw from Pryor. And Whited gives it back to him.
And I saw the look on the defender's face, Raymond Liu, after that point. He turned around and shrugged. He's like, guys, why am I covering these 2 guys as they walk into the end zone? Where are you? That was a blown coverage by this Machine defense. Somebody who was supposed to be helping cover the resets was standing on the front line, pointing, face guarding, and leaving Raymond Liu to try and clean up the mess. And I think that's one of many defensive mistakes we have seen in this game. You can see Liu all by himself. He asked for help. He said, somebody going to pick this up? No one's there.
That was a really well done throw by Pryor, leading Whited to that open space, setting up the short dish for Revolver's 10th goal. Last time Revolver won a title, the last time Nationals was held in Florida. They beat Double Wide in the final. Double Wide was a surprise finalist that year. Before that, Revolver had made a thing of winning in the odd years. They won in 11, 13, 15, and 17. There's been an 8-year gap, but they're 5 goals away from taking their 6th title. Unless Don Desmarais has something to say about it. Nate Goff looking for Keegan North. Is it going to stay in bounds? It is not.
It's not been a great hucking tournament for former World Games gold medalist Nate Goff. And this team needs his dynamic ability to be an inside-out threat.
big bid. North comes up empty. Robinson. Marked by De Marais, finds Valley. Riddler. Cross field, leaping catch. Tough grab for Toby Warren.
Still another strong defensive possession for this Machine O, but they can't get the disc away.
Kyle Liu with the disc in his hands. To Riddler. This has been an excellent possession for Revolver's D-line O. And they finish it off. Seamus Robinson was handling 85 yards the other way. And then he catches the score for another San Francisco break.
Evan, it might not be a good sign if the best thing I'm saying about your offense is they play good defense after the turn. Might be a red flag.
Well, they didn't play good enough defense to get a turn back.
Oh, many a team has tried to guard Revolver and played pretty good defense only to get scored on.
Death or glory, New York, New York, and Revolver. San Francisco can join this duo and make it a trio. I mean, Dog and New York set the standard. Their 12 titles came in the span of 13 years, which really puts in perspective too the 8 different champs we've had in the last 8 years. Because for almost a decade and a half, it was just 3 teams. It's a good trivia question. I think I mentioned it on an earlier broadcast. Who was the other team between 1987 and 1999 other than New York and Boston that won a title? To drop for Wettengel and Revolver looking to take another step closer to history. Byron Liu has it. And it feels like Revolver's pulling away.
Huge moment for Revolver, whose D-line is pouring it on. They're picking up momentum. The O-line's getting nice and rested. Machine sends in their D-line to give the offense a break, and that often works for them. They're very comfortable doing that. But that break was brief and unproductive. Just a stone cold drop.
Nathan Kwan connecting with Byron Liu. It's all working for Revolver right now. They led by 2 at the half. They're now up 12-7, 3 goals away from a return to glory. Machine had the first break of the game that made the score 4-3, but Revolver has the last 5 breaks since. And this San Francisco team making its founders proud with intensity, humility, and discipline.
Here's that poach set Revolver likes to run with Michael Ing in the deep space, everybody else fronting.
Desmarais has been pretty quiet here in the second half. Revolver's been registered 3 breaks since halftime, but Machine stabilizes offensively there. The only other score for Chicago in this half was Giannis to Shanahan. So this is the first score of the second half for Machine's true O-line.
You see immediately ones in the air from Kyle Rutledge and company. And I think we can all pretty easily interpret that. That's one. We need a lot more. And we'll do it one at a time. I think you're going to see a lot of Dante Murray down the stretch here. It's a guy who's well of energy, runs deep, and they really could use some some heroics right about now.
The before and after score, Kyle Rutledge. Smith.
Can Machine find a way to slow down a Revolver offense that I don't believe has turned it over outside of the one break they gave Machine? And these guys are feeling rested right now.
Yeah, they look it. Big swing over to Frankenberg. Atkins to Hecht. Hecht into the end zone. How about the extension and dexterity for Hecht on that release? Not to mention the vision, the angle, the placement, the perfection. Beautiful.
And he does it all in a blink of an eye. No hesitation. And blink of an eye is kind of what you get with this offense. Every defense I talk to that goes up against this Revolver offense talks about getting them into higher stall counts. Can we get them to stall 6, stall 7? Because if this offense is moving the disc at stall 3, you're in trouble. Mac Hecht has been the orchestrator of this offense. Open up with a pair of hammers to Simon Higgins, but has shown us that diverse throwing skill set throughout this contest. He's shown us the deep shots, shown us the vision and the patience, the touch, the power. Really a complete player with the disc in his hands.
He's been awesome, and his cutters have been awesome. You know, Adam Reese had a drop in the second half of the Machine game, but he's been fantastic. Leo Gordon, Raekwon Atkins, Walker Frankenberg, and obviously Higgins and Kearns, the veterans of this unit. I mean, they've just been so super solid, steady, brilliant.
Well, I've watched this Revolver team in quite a few games, and their offense often has just a period of string of mistakes or a couple points of poor play. We have not seen that yet.
2 throws score here for Machine. Goff to North as Arter started it off, 13-9.
And this Machine offense has back-to-back strong showings on the field, but they know it's basically their D-line's game from here on out. Not expecting to see much of the Chicago offense down the stretch because there's just not a lot of room for them to get on the field anymore on the scoreboard.
Revolver 2 scores away. 8 clean holds already. Looking for 2 more. 5 assists for Mac Hecht. Johnny Bansfield hadn't really left his fingerprints all over this game yet. Does Johnny have a moment in him here to try to change the momentum of the game before it's too late?
No crossovers for this D-line either. No Donde Murray, no Rutledge Smith, no Nate Goff. It's just a true defensive unit out there.
Remember, Keith, the last time Johnny Bansfield was in the final, he only played in the second half because he was ejected from the second half of the semis the night before against Johnny Bravo. Made a WWE-like entrance at halftime, but ultimately was not the difference maker down the stretch in denying truck stop 2 years ago.
Still, though, that's going to go down as one of the most iconic moments in Ultimate broadcasting.
I'm not seeing. I can see a little fold, but was there a call though? We're just here on one. Yeah.
Here's Kearns. Reset Pryor. What a block from Gow. Jeff Gow lays out and maybe changes the game. It's Revolver's first turn in a while. Gordon fouls Bansfield. Acknowledges it immediately. Can Johnny Bansfield turn back the clock right here?
Not a lot of room for these cutters. They're not have anything much going. They're going to rely on these handlers to make something happen. I think if you're a Revolver, you got to say, we cannot let Johnny Bansfield throw a forehand hook.
Rutledge Smith gives it back to Raymond Liu. I beg your pardon, that's Andrew Sjogren, who just got foot blocked. But there's a foul, and it's not contested.
Okay, we're coming in on one.
So Sjogren maintains possession. Got blocked again, and Pryor there to knock it down. To Kearns, to Frankenberg. Revolver on the doorstep of history.
And again, I want to go back to what I pointed out earlier. No crossovers for this machine D-line, and that, I think, showed up when they got the disc. This cutter group was not able to create any separation. They weren't able to create advantages for the offense, and so the disc was just stagnant. They were stuck in the same part of the field. Turn it over on the short field, and it's an easy score.
Downstairs to Ian.
Yeah, it's worth noting that Andrew Sjogren didn't even play at all in the semifinal yesterday. He was dealing with an Achilles injury, a calf injury, warmed up today and said he felt better and was ready to go, but his play time has definitely been limited, so you got to wonder if his perhaps limited reps yesterday, lack of comfort, had something to do with the turnover there.
Yeah, there's also something to be said. As a D-line cutter, you get the disc in the hands for the first time in the national championship game with your team 2 points away from coming up short. That's a feeling that you've never had holding the disc before in your life.
Well, now there's nothing but pressure for this machine team. If they can get a hold and a break, maybe they could shift the tenor of this game, put the nerves back on Revolver's side, but right now they're staring down the same score, potentially, that they were eliminated by in semifinals last year, falling 15-9 to a Revolver, to a Rhino team that just couldn't be stopped.
McGuckin to Rutledge Smith. Machine needs 1 hold and then 5 breaks.
You'd love to have a nice crisp hold, get the offense off the field so you can run these guys on D-line too.
Oh, hunting a block. Valley comes up just empty. And after that, it's Rutledge Smith in the end zone to make it 14-10.
Well, that was pretty harrowing as far as 0-1 holds go. Valley nearly picks one off, and then in the rush to take advantage, Machine nearly throws into Michael Ing, coming to help as well.
Once again, Kyle Rutledge to Rutledge Smith for the score. Hockey assist to Don Desmarais, who still has not been officially charged with a turnover in the tournament. An incredible stat line for the 24-year-old Belgian, but it may not be enough today. It's winning time for Revolver. And there's the 7 on the line. Higgins, Atkins, Reese, Hecht, Pryor, Whited, and Gordon. Is it Revolver's moment again right now? Pulls out of bounds. Nate Goff is out there defensively on Higgins. Don Desmarais is out there on Atkins. Johnny Bansfield is on Gordon. Machine needs a block or a Revolver mistake. Otherwise, the San Francisco celebration will begin.
A good start for Machine, getting Revolver pinned briefly.
Hecht somehow gets it around the mark. Plenty of time and space near the sideline. Hecht launching crossfield. A visionary shot and an incredible catch. And Raekwon Atkins says good night. Revolver rises again. San Francisco Revolver, national champs for the 6th time.
And Evan, how about ending this game with the new school of Revolver? Mac Hecht leading the charge, and a youngster like Raekwon Atkins making a huge catch to secure them that historic championship.
Indeed, what a way to end it. Disappointment for Don and Chicago, their 3rd time in the finals, coming up short. Frustration boiling over, but elation for Revolver. This program that began as a vehicle for Frisbee development, character development, passion. They have devoted so much to building a culture and a tradition. And after 8 years without bringing back the title to the Bay, it's Revolver again, the best in the world.
Another look at Hecht with the crossfield throw. I mean, this is just a one-on-one jump ball. I think for Machine, there's nobody they'd rather have in that situation, but the lengthy reach of Raekwon Atkins goes over the top, and Backhack looks like he got away with one, but you got great teammates to help you out.
Winning it with style. Revolver, 15-10. San Francisco just 7 turns in the game, and for guys like Simon Higgins and Elijah Kearns and Byron Liu, they're back on top. Michael Ing has a men's division club title after winning in mixed. And for everybody who's worn the Revolver jersey and been a part of the program, this moment is special forever.
And a thorough victory for Revolver in what was a wire-to-wire season. They were basically the best team from the first tournament to the last. And when we started this season, we were talking about, is it going to be Rhino? Is it going to be this Reloaded Machine team? But it was that Revolver squad all the way through.
I can't wait to hear what Mac Heck was thinking going into that last throw. Ian, take it away.
Thanks, Evan. Mac, I think we're all wondering what was going through your mind when you were on the sideline over there and you saw Raekwon with a step on Nate Goff.
Well, now I think it was a bit of a dicey one. I'm not sure I'm glad I threw it. But I don't know, Raekwon catches everything, so figured I'd give him a shot.
Is there any way to encapsulate what's going through your mind and your body right now in terms of a feeling and emotion perspective?
Not really. It's been a great fall. Not really. No, this is something I've dreamed about for a long time. So it's hard to really realize that in the moment.
I can understand that. I'm thinking about all that you've won so far in your career with Brown, with Team USA. Now you're a club men's national champion. What does that mean to you?
It's cool. It's cool. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's cool. It's something I've wanted, and I'll think about it more over the course of the day, I'm afraid. But yeah, it's a bit of a beast mode situation.
What did it feel like to you when you're stepping out there, dealing, doing what you want, and then especially in the second half, your D-line was able to step out there, apply pressure, and just pour on the brakes as the second half wore on?
Yeah, team effort. Everyone on our team was, chosen for this team, has been a part of this team in every different way throughout the season, and being able to pay homage to that and see that come to fruition in the biggest game of the season is super special. I always think of Nationals as kind of a celebration of the work kind of put forward over the course of the year, and again, seeing that all come to fruition in one moment over the course of the game, super, super cool.
I'm sure you could wax poetic about each of your teammates and coaches and what they've all brought to the table and how they've contributed to the team's success. Is there anything when you think about this season that maybe was underappreciated or underexplored and contributing to your team's success and championship here?
I just think we got a really special kind of mix of different seniorities, experience levels, desires. Every single car and hotel room when we're putting together the travel logistics docs feels like a stacked room or a stacked car. It's hard to put into words, but no, it feels like lightning in a bottle, and just grateful to be a part of it.
I'm thinking back to Rafi Hayes last year after he won, saying small ball's dead, the long game is back, and I feel like your offense did a great job of encapsulating both. We saw you going over the top, stretching the field. We also saw you guys running dominators. How did you guys settle in on the philosophy and the strategy that worked best for your offense this year?
We're blessed with the luxury of having incredible players that can do a bunch of different things. So kind of play the hand you're dealt, I'm afraid. And I don't know, I a lot of respect to Rhino. I think they're an amazing team. And I think long ball and short ball are both very much alive, I guess.
Well, Nate, I beg your pardon, Mac, thank you so much. Go celebrate with your
team. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Evan?
Thank you, Ian. Revolver takes the Triple Crown in 2025, U.S. Open champ, Pro champ, Nationals champ. Our Discraft play of the game, Hecht to Atkins to clinch the title. Only one loss in the season for Revolver. They finished the campaign on a 20-game winning streak. The lone blemish, 15-13 on the first day of the US Open on August 1st. They go 27-1, but they don't care about that one. They got the one that counts, and that was here today.
Incredible showing for Revolver as they achieve the Triple Crown. So we're 1 out of 2. Evan, we got one more Triple Crown attempt to figure out.
Yep, the mixed final still to come. Hybrid trying to go back-to-back and match Revolver's success with a Triple Crown this year. But New York Exist has other ideas. They're looking for their first title. That's coming up about 35 minutes here from San Diego. Very intense, emotional, exciting men's final. But Revolver was the best team in August. They were the best team in September. They're the best team in October, too. And they joined Boston's Death or Glory and the first dynasty, New York, New York, as the only 6-time champs in the men's division. As always, it has been an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure to bring it to you here on Ultiworld. For Keith Rayner and our entire production crew, I'm Evan Lepler. Revolver 15, Machine 10, and Revolver's IHD reigns again.